regard to patents, patents and copyright, you're saying those are very expensive. I'm wondering, is there some way, if you got software developed and you want to go and pursue that copyright patent thing to protect it completely, is it possible? I mean, I'm wondering, how do you get? I mean, where does that fit in the venture capital scheme of things?
Daryl
venture capital
knows the answer to the software.
Can you repeat the question for everybody back here?
Sure. Yeah, sure. The issue is dealing with, if you've got a product that you want to have patented or copyrighted, and you want to present it, and you want to present it for venture capital. I'm wondering, it seems like a catch-22. You need the money for the patent, but without the patent, is it safe to? You're saying the bigger guys wouldn't steal the idea. So I'm just wondering, is there some way?
Most law firms wouldn't even take it on. To be honest with you, unless you're really that sophisticated. You really have to have some cutting-edge technology in order to get it patented. In addition, every change you make, you have to redo it. So you better have some money, some deep pockets when you go down that road, because it's so much change management that you have to do. My database that I started off with is not where my database is now. You know, that's the kind of stuff that you deal with. It just evolves. And the problem with the whole patent direction is that it's too many changes to try to stay on top of it. It really is. So again, from a technology perspective, it's very competitive. You know, let's just be honest. When you're getting into technology, just understand, you have to stay in front of your competition. You've got to find out what it is that makes me who I am. And you just got to drive and never stop driving. I'm looking at changes every single day. I'm talking to customers. I'm finding out what is it that you need, because I have to stay a step ahead of my competition. It really is just that simple. So
it's tougher with software. What you're talking about is software. You got to keep out in front.
Right.
We have proprietary equipment, and we have gone through a whole patent process. It's arduous. It's very, very expensive. As soon as you get your thing started with the U.S. patent, then you got to get international patents.
Yes.
Every single country is a different patent, and then there's a process. Every country wants to charge you some money for it, and it is you have to, like you say, you got to have deep pockets. It's probably a couple, $300,000-$400,000 to cover a patent on a piece of equipment. But on software, you're going to be different. It's more cutting edge. You got to keep out in front.
Ben, there was a question up here.
Okay.
I didn't see some of the hands. Did we have a question back there? Nope. Ben, you had a question.
Okay, I want to go back to the movie. The one fact that stuck out, and they didn't have, well, they had a few facts, but it said 80% of all businesses founded by first-time entrepreneurs fail. That's not very attractive. Here we go. That's like saying, hey, you want to go skydiving? Well, 4 out of 5 parachutes don't work. Right. But that 5th one, man, if you get that one, that's the winner. Right. So my question is, I want to find out, what's the common thread? Is it a lack of information? Is it they have the wrong team behind them? I mean, was it the wrong location? What's the common thread for 80% just failing for the first time alone?
That's a good audience. You got to come up with some good questions. Jeez.
Yes.
Sammy, you want to?
I just wanted to say, you know, from the businesses I've started, it wasn't just I came up with an idea and I wanted to do this. Most of the time I worked at a company. I saw what was happening at that company. I learned all the different departments, the marketing, the sales, the administrative. I talked to those people, you know, and in some cases even, you know, some of them maybe left the company, and I said, hey, I'm going to start the same company that we worked at. And I already had the experts. I already had the people that had the experience in all those different various parts of the company. So then being an entrepreneur doesn't mean you necessarily have to create something new that no one's doing. You can simply duplicate something that's already going on and just make it better, put your twist on it, create more value, maybe lower your prices, and you can be effective in the business. So I would just, you know, take the simple approach. Someone else has already done it. Let me go in there and do it better. And that's worked out for me.
I think that's actually huge, Sammy, is the fact that you really have to pay your dues. We don't want to throw water on people who want to go start their own business and stuff. But if you don't pay your dues, nobody's going to give you money. You know, they're not going to give you money if you don't have experience. So you can maybe do it with your own dollars or friends and family or mom and dad, but you're not going to go to the outside and get money. So Christina here was talking about wanting to do a restaurant. You know, if you haven't worked in a restaurant, been the manager of a restaurant, taken care of a restaurant, you are not going to get money to start your own restaurant. I mean, it just is, that's how it works. And that's going to be true. And if you're doing software, software may be a little different because you might have an interesting hook that'll put you in there. But in terms of doing an operating business, you better have experience. That's why I mentioned in my little story, when I had the experience of running the clothing stores, it kind of gave me a one-up, not only in knowing how to do the thing, but when I went to tell people about, you know, what have you done type thing, you can say, well, I ran those stores, and that gives you a big benefit. You've had the same thing. Now you don't have to worry about that because you said, I've done these 4 businesses. People say, you know how to do it, you know what you're doing. Yeah, but that's a tough hurdle to get over.
It is very tough. You find some business people that are very successful with very limited.
Right.
Even in the restaurant industry, I won't give the name of this company, but one of the companies that I'm working with, they're one of the fastest growing franchises right now in the U.S. They had no systems in place. Wow. They basically opened up the restaurant and said, all we want to do is serve good food and give great service. That's it. Every month, every week, they said if we've got money in the bank at the end of the week, we've been successful. If we don't have money in the bank, we haven't been successful. And they grew their business like that. And they've gotten people to sign on as franchisees like that. The challenge is that what they created and now what those people who have signed on as franchisees have to create is 2 different things. You may just have the luck of, hey, I opened up 5 locations and every location was hot. So that made me successful. Now that same restaurant opens up at Burbank, bad location. Now I have no systems. I have nothing that can help me maintain this $3 million investment that I've just made in your business. And you have nothing to bring to me. That's the real world. The real world of being a business person is that you have got to be driven, you've got to be crazy about your business. I'm being honest with you. Trust me, if I can tell you how many times my wife says, man, you have lost your mind. I mean, why do you work so much? Why are you doing what you're doing? You have to love your business to the point where if you weren't making a dime, you would keep doing it. That's the biggest thing that you got to have as an entrepreneur is passion. You've just got to be crazy about what you do because you're going to run into some obstacles that are going to make you question what you're doing. When AJ said, hey man, we cried, all that stuff, oh, he's telling the truth. Trust me, there's a whole lot of prayer involved in surviving as an entrepreneur. Tremendous amount of prayer. But again, it's just, you've got to have this belief that regardless of what things hit you, you'll work through it.
So, it's 9 o'clock right now.
Yeah, we got a hard stop, but I need to do this. How old are you? 18. Did he ask a question yet?
He has not asked a question.
Okay, I need you to ask a question. You got a bunch of men and other people in the room that can probably bring possibility to this idea that you have. Ask a question. We're gonna close with him.
Okay,
and let's
we'll give him 60 seconds to think about it.
You got 30 seconds.